Alright, morning folks. It is day before race day and now I gotta drop this bike off in a transition. It's a little past, just before 11:30. It's only gonna take me a couple minutes. Bike is just about ready and I did my ride yesterday. And I'll take you along with me going into transition into T1/T2. So let's get right into it here. So we're in transition, as you can see. Some bikes are over here. My bike is over that way. Yeah, my bike is right there. It's now loaded in. Got all the AWA athletes, I think, are numbered 1 through 300, I think. But we can see through here, some of the pros have already got their bikes set up. I know I personally am not quite there yet. And then just taking a look through here in transition. We got, again, some of the pros have already set it up, but the main pros have not arrived yet. They probably won't load their bikes until much later in the day. And so for those that are not familiar with this course, so Swim Out is kind of in between where those boats are right now. But so we're gonna walk basically this path all the way to the end of transition, and then I've got a long run all the way to the bikes here, and the pros will also do that as well. For bike transition, in terms of when we exit or when we go from bike exit, so the bike transit, so the bike, he does this. The timing chip starts over where the Ironman sign is right now, but we have to walk, or we're not really walk, but we're gonna have to bike our way through this path here that kind of swivels along the side of transition. And basically where swim exit is where, or yeah, swim exit going into transition, that's where we're going to have to pop back in, and everybody's going to have to go through the same path. So there's no unique advantage or disadvantage, I guess, for any of the athletes. It's just, well, I guess for us all world athletes, or for the pros, they have a little bit more bare feet as it comes to the swim, as well as exiting from the bike going into the run. And Team Zoot. And then aside from that, that's basically it to transition. It's a very long path transition here. I think the path I'm going to take is I'm going to go along the main road going into the AWA bikes, and then make our way out to the run. Porta potties, of course, are there, which always is important because you never know when you're going to need to go through it. But that's basically it to transition. And now what I'm going to do is do a quick walk back to the hotel. Got to go and pick up my car because I got to go to the bank and do all sorts of funny stuff. And then I've got the team photo that is coming up just a little bit under an hour and a half here. So I've got to get booking. So till then, I will talk with folks later. All right, folks, I'm back at, well, our starting place, or in this case, the finish line, which is still under construction. They're going to continue through this. This is the end part of the run course. It's a fantastic day, but I'm going to go out here and I'm going to wear my wetsuit to get myself just kind of acclimated for the swim here, just to refresh my memory what it's like to swim in really, really cold water, and to practice a little bit of trying to go underneath some waves. So I'm not going to swim too far out, maybe at most 500 yards. But again, today is the objective is more or less to get myself acclimated for what's going to be a very cold swim, or at least a cold swim for my standards. So I'm gonna put my wetsuit on and go for the dip here. It's pretty bright going into the sun here, but the wetsuit is now on, and now we're gonna go and tackle these waves here, and gotta get my swim cap on, and then see if I'm gonna need the cover, which I don't think I will, but again, just gonna kind of see how it goes. All right, the swim's now done. About a couple hundred yards in, about 550 from the bike computer, or from the Garmin watch, and it was a little chilly in there, not gonna lie, but overall felt relatively good, a little bit better compared to last time. And what I mean by last time, I had a little bit of a rough time trying to get through some of that surf, so had a little bit of practice today, and I think that was totally worth getting into the water for just a little bit here, even if it may be a short swim. And now that the swim is done, now I get to go back to the hotel room and clean out this wetsuit that I'm carrying on my shoulder here, and getting rid of all the salt from all the rest of the gear as well. And then I've got a few errands that I've got to run, and then basically calling it the night and prepping for race day, and give a little bit of a recap once I get back into the room later this evening, and I'll talk to you back then. I'm back at hotel base here, and I'm just chilling away, doing a little bit of things with my coaching business that I have in terms of getting some of the workouts in for next week for some folks. So that has helped to pass a little bit of time. And as I'm recording this, it's around 8 p.m. and I'm planning on taking a shower in a few minutes and getting some compression going for 15 minutes, and then hitting the deck before 9 p.m. and getting up at around 5 a.m. if all goes well. So far, I would say I have definitely finished all of my loading in terms of nutrition, in terms of carb loading, as some may call it. I did eat a little bit more than I had initially planned for dinner, but I had dinner really early for me, so I was done eating before like 5:30 p.m. So I've had just about over 2.5 hours to go and digest that, and there's probably going to be another hour before I hit the bed. So I think we're looking pretty good there. And last thoughts that I have, I guess, before the race is just making sure that I get a good sleep, and I've got all my devices charged up, ready to go, and taking a look through here, as you may see. So down below, I've got my transition bag just about ready. My wetsuit is over there still drying from the open water swim that I had. Back in the corner there is where I have, well, of course, my sleeping gear, but also back there is my race kit. So trying to be very efficient in the morning with a 5 a.m. wake-up call, which is a little bit later compared to a lot of other folks who may be getting up at like 4:30, but I'm one of those that gets into transition really late. And I usually don't like spending a lot of time in transition. So the more time I can get some shut-eye, the better I feel. And I'm usually not a morning person anyway, so I just kind of go with the flow. And aside from that, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good here. Just wanting to make sure that I do get a good night's of sleep, or at least as good of a sleep as I possibly can. And I'll check back in with folks in the morning tomorrow. And there we go. And so for those that are racing tomorrow, best of luck. I'll hopefully see you in transition. And I think it's going to be really good in terms of the race conditions. At least that's all the indications I've seen so far. But you never know what's going to be thrown on race day. We'll see what the swells are. And the swim a little bit earlier today was kind of an indicator of that. But it comes down to execution, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Best of luck to all of the Oceanside participants, as well as the pros that are going to be racing tomorrow. Hopefully that everybody has a really good time, and most importantly, going out there and have fun. So with that stated, I'm going to check out of here, and of course, if you go and like this video. That would really help out this channel. Of course, hit the bell notification for getting the latest and greatest of videos. And of course, leave a comment down below if you've got other thoughts. Maybe you're racing Oceanside with me, or maybe you're just going out and cheering. And again, my bib number for this race is 192. And until then, I'm going to check out here. Yoshi out.